here we are. This is S.x Love Psychedelics, and I'm your host, Dr. Kat. Bringing you psychosexual conversations that will leave you intellectually turned on and hungry for more. So a couple of questions from our audience. For those of you who follow me on S.x Love Yoga, you know that I put these questions out to my guests. So I've got a couple of questions here. The first question is, I'm trying to do a regular masturbation practice, but I get bored after a few minutes. Help.
You know how many clients tell me this? And especially when they come to my course and I tell them, we're going to get into 1 hour self-pleasure practice. People are like, what are you going to do in 1 hour? Right? So my advice would be, are you meditating? Because if, getting bored, where is your mind? Your mind is wandering. So just really, I would say, dive deeper into your meditation practice, whichever meditation you choose, and then bringing that meditation practice to bed. So what actually, for myself, my own experience, what was a huge breakthrough was attending Vipasaana meditation, right? Which is a 10-day silent retreat where you really focus all your awareness on little sensations in the body. And after 10 days of meditating daily for 10 plus hours, you feel every little tingling and you're able to really observe your mind and come back and come back. And I think, my lovemaking and self-pleasure since then was taken to a whole another level because I was able to be so much more present with every subtle sensation in my body. So I would say that make your self-pleasure a meditation.
I love that. Okay. And yeah, I think that is the key, to be able to have that expanded awareness, to be so present to the intensity that can happen from the subtle.
Yeah. And what I would also do is again, the same thing that you do really in Vipassana. Observe your mind that is wandering, that is telling you're bored, and bring it back to a point of touch. Bring it back to a point of touch. So let's say if you're playing with your genitals, what am I feeling there? What am I feeling there? The mind wanders, bring it back. So that alone will already be a meditative practice which you cannot get bored by if you really, really practice that. And if you focus all your attention on that point of touch and on that sensation in that point, it will start to expand and it will start to feel more deeply. And then every time there will be a little more and a little more. And one more thing I'm going to add to this here. I always like to give this anecdote that it's a little bit like in a car. You don't drive from reverse straight to forward. There is neutral in the middle. So often when people give away the intense friction and overstimulation, but they're not yet attuned to subtle sensations, there is this moment of being in that neutral space where it can get boring at the beginning. Stay there and focus on one little thing new sensation that you felt. Focus on one little thing that you observed, something new, something that came up, and you will start observing that there's little more, and little more, and little more.
Yes, yes. Trust the process. Okay, second question. What can I do if my guy can't kiss?
Can't. So it's interesting.
So maybe he's a bad kiss. I'm assuming that they're saying that he's a bad kisser.
That he's a bad kisser. Okay. So, I would say what I like to do, let's see, we could play a game of what I love to do this. Let's see. I don't know if it's 100% relevant, but let's see. We would have to do a few things and let's see what sticks. So I like playing with the anticipation of kiss. And let's see if you can start playing a game where you come closer and withdraw, and then start just touching gently your lips and you move away. So you could almost maybe blindfold him, for example, and you can even come up with a little kinky scene, of course, with consent, where you blindfold him when you put his hand back, and then play with the anticipation of the kiss, and then allow him to be in full, receiver mode, submissive mode, and show him, not through telling him, but through practicing on him. I assume it's him. Sorry if it's incorrect. The partner.
Yeah, said guy.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure. And play with him the way you would like him to play with you. And I would ask him along the way how he is enjoying it. So let's add a pleasure scale to this from 1 to 10 and ask him, where are you at from 1 to 10? So you're going to also learn what he enjoys and where you can actually meet. So start with the talking about the kiss and dirty talk and anticipation. So a little bit more energetic, then move into the sensual touch, blow at his lips, then gently touch them with your finger, then gently bring closer your lips, then go a little bit more into sexual with a little bit more, just wet kissing, and then go into a kinky a little bit more and start a little biting and pulling, and ask him along the way where he's enjoying it from 1 to 10, and then give your numbers as well. So I think make this whole thing in exploration, a kiss pleasure mapping, and then do a conscious closure and take notes, guys, both what you learned from this, what you enjoy the most, what you wanted more of. So I will also turn it around and learn what he really enjoys, instead of he's a bad kisser for me. But let's find what he enjoys and tap into this, and where you can bring that two together.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for tuning in, lovers. And if you want to experience more ecstasy and sexual liberation, head over to sexlovepsychedelics.com and learn about how you can join me for any one of my online or live events. And while you're there, grab my free guide on sex and psychedelics. Remember, this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please contact your healthcare provider and local law before pursuing any of the products or psychedelics discussed. And one final note here. I make this show specifically for you. If you're loving the show, then be sure to leave me a review in iTunes or Spotify to let me know. Happy to be here and happy to serve. I'll see you next time on Sex, Love, Psychedelics.